I can say even to this day, I know there's times where like I'll try to get a shoe and they're like it's sold out, and then like 2 weeks later on a random Wednesday,
It's there.
they're like, it's like it's here, and I'm like, I thought it sold out,
Yeah.
and there's every single size, and it doesn't sell out. They just sit. So I think some of it is uh artificial de- demand.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, oh, they're gone, and then like when you see them, oh, you got to buy them now before it's too late,
Yeah,
and
definitely. I mean,
then
and that gives you that feeling like, oh, let me get them, let me like, let me hurry and get these. But yeah, I mean, that's marketing is more than a commercial, right? It goes deeper than that. It's more of more than an Instagram ad.
but then 8 months later, I go to the Nike outlet store and I see the shoe. Like, here's a true story, and then we can move on.
Okay.
So there was a shoe. It's called crap. What is it called? The Airstrix, I believe is how you say it.
Okay.
It came out in the early '90s. It kind of looked like you had like 3D goggles on. Like half the shoe had like very light blue
I'm gonna look
Nike
that
checks,
up.
and the other side was red. I think it was the Airstrix, I believe,
Okay.
or well, no, it was the Structures. It was the Structures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yep, that's it. The Structures. I don't know. I said strikes. Anyway, long story short, they released them on the sneakers app, and I got a pair. And then like 2 months later, they just came out on Nike.com, and like they sold out, and they're like, okay, it's gone. Like on all the like resale sites, the shoe was going for like $200 more than retail. But then later, it just comes out on Nike.com willy nilly. So I was like, oh snap, I better buy another pair. Maybe I can sell it, or like maybe it's really rare. And then like they eventually just disappeared off Nike.com. Then like I want to say like maybe about 3 months ago, I go to a Nike outlet store close to my house, and they're selling the shoe for like $60. It's just sitting like you know how it is at the outlets. They just have
Yeah.
boxes on boxes on boxes.
Broken
And I was just
box.
like, yeah, with the lid to it. And my mom had seen me wearing them once, and she was like, "Yo, like I like those. Like I want a pair." And I was like, "Well, check this out, mom. Like it's on StockX. It's on Goat. Like I ain't trying to spend like." You know what I mean? Like 250, 300 on a pair of shoes for you because you aren't really into shoes like that. She's like, it's all good. Don't worry about it. But then I see him at the Nike store for like $60, and I was like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, how is this how is this possible? I thought they were gone, and it's like, did you like lose a shipment? Did you hold the shipment for too long, and now like you don't want to put it on Nike.com because you don't want like your consumers to be mad, or like so you just
So,
like put it in the outlet store where no one's gonna see it?
so
It was the
I know
weirdest
the
thing.
answer to that question.
What's the answer?
And so obviously this is not what Nike was is going to want anybody to know, but so the answer was this happened. I'm actually not going to say what shoe this happened with because it was a super high profile shoe. Although said
Okay.
athlete is not there anymore, I'll tell you off this actually, obviously. But so what they do is when they release something that they think is going to be hot, they feel like this is going to sell out. This is going to be one of those shoes, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so they put it up there. Obviously, there's people watching, seeing what the how well it's doing immediately after it goes up or whatever, and it's a bust, and they know they're like, oh shoot, okay, like so the these aren't selling as hot as we thought they would. They pull them or they say sold out, and they do exactly what you said. So maybe a day or 2 or 3 days later, they'll throw a couple more on there. But what they do is they specifically send those shoes to outlets because they haven't sold well and they haven't made
Mm-hmm.
the impact that they thought they would. So they're like, all right, well, we'll take this as a loss. We're going to send these to the outlets and let people pick them up or feel lucky or whatever. Because when you think about
Yeah.
it, there's not a the chances of a WoW sneakerhead living at an outlet area is pretty rare. There's not like a million outlets all over the place, right? So when somebody sees these, it's not like their secret is blown because there's not millions of sneakerheads going into these outlets all the time to the ones that they're sending them to. So yeah, it's a marketing tactic where if it doesn't do as well as they wanted it to do immediately, they'll pull it, say it's sold out, and
Send it to the
send
outlets.
some to the outlets, yeah, and then and then put it out up a little bit later to kind of double verify that people don't want it. Like maybe they missed it or they weren't aware that it was coming out or whatever, but just to kind of make sure that they're doing the right, that it really wasn't a big hit. And then, yeah, they send them to the outlets. So, I mean, this was the case a few years ago. I mean, I don't know if it's changed since then, but it sounds like it's still happening.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. it is. Yeah, because yeah, so, yeah, it makes sense. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that insider tip. I
Yeah.
guess you'll leave us to speculate who the athlete, the former Nike athlete was. I mean, in what shoe was it? A Roger Federer? I don't know. No, he still wears Nike, doesn't he?
He
It was
used to,
just
but now
he
he
the
owns
shoe.
On. Or he's a part owner of
Oh,
On now, that Swiss shoe brand.
oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, Grace wore those
Well,
for training one day, and she was like, "Hey, she had to take them off." She's like, "These are the most uncomfortable shoe." He has like a signature Federer shoe for On, and she couldn't
he's a
finish her
Swiss
workout.
scammer, man. He's a Swiss scammer. Dang, dang.